The following program is a real estate and mortgage show and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is advised. Good evening and welcome to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts Randy, Jackie, and Anthony right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board, send us an email. Our email address is yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your hosts of Your Home, Your Money, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony.
Hello, y'all.
Good evening.
Hi, everyone. Lovely to be here.
Yeah, my wife's actually joining us this week.
What do you mean?
Oh, you've been here for a bit?
Yes, I have.
She tried not to.
Yeah, and then he makes me read the emails. I've been suffering quite a bit with migraines lately. Not that my husband would care.
Oh, I care.
Oh, you don't care.
No, I do. Because when you're suffering the migraine, I don't get anything.
Oh, thanks. So really, you don't care about me.
No, I do.
It's
do.
all about
It's all
you.
about you.
Oh, no.
It's all about
No,
you.
no.
That's the thing. You don't
Oh,
realize.
I was going to say screw you, but no.
Yeah, that would
But
be bad.
no.
But yeah, it's really unfortunate when your wife has migraines all the time. It certainly puts a damper on your together life.
Together life.
Are you serious right now?
That's the way I see it.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So
Okay, I don't have nothing to say.
yeah, nothing
I'm
good
just
to
trying
say.
to do this offer here and go.
So
And I can't even
Let's-
work in peace. I have to be on the radio show while I'm doing an offer.
well, you should concentrate on your audience. They
Should
they
I?
care
Or
about
should I
you.
concentrate on my client? Which one?
You should have
Tell
had
me.
that done.
I can't.
Really?
Hold on.
should have
Are
had
you
that done before the
serious?
show. Yeah. Did you
I
know-
do not
Let me
control
ask you
when
this.
the agent sends me an offer.
Did you know about the show?
Yeah, but do you know that you can't be pushy and say, you better send me the offer this time?
No, but you have
When you get it, you get it.
you have a professional.
You wouldn't know because you
success
don't
team
deal with
behind
it.
you. We deal with it. We
You
deal with it for
don't.
reasons like this.
You don't.
So you got the offer,
Yeah.
and you want to sign it back right away? Is that the problem?
Yeah, because I only got until 10
Until 10? Okay.
to accept it if they want. So,
That's a lot of time.
you know, well, not if your client's at work and she's not signing. You got to be, you know. I don't like cutting it down to the wire unless I'm trying to get more, but we've already been working on this deal for 2 days.
Okay.
So I pulled out every inch I can out of it, every cent.
See, you're sounding like me now. You're trying to get more.
Of
and
course,
you're
I'm
pulling
the
out
listing
every
agent.
inch out of it.
Oh, jeez.
So is this what I've been missing for the last
This is what
few
you've been
weeks?
missing.
Just saying.
I drove my friend to the airport and I was hoping I was going to get stuck in traffic, but I got to listen to this.
You don't realize just how lucky you are. This is incredible. So Anthony was asking me before, how are we doing towards moving towards being in a full-fledged buyer market? Because as Anthony knows, and we all know, the environment is definitely like a buyer's market. You know, like when the news person's saying the weather, they say it feels like 30, but it's only 22. With humidity, it feels like 30. And that's just kind of how it is. It feels like a buyer's market,
You know,
and
but-
all the indicators have moved us.
Okay, sorry. I was going to say it feels like, but I would say the numbers are saying kind of shows it too.
Yeah, well, it depends which indicator you're looking at. If you're looking at the sales to new listing ratio, we have, 4.9% more to go to be 100% in the buyer's market range. But if we're looking at the months of inventory, we are in a buyer's market, or we're heading to
I don't know. I don't think you can really look at these numbers though just
100% on their own.
No, not on their own, but even as of a today thing. Because like to me, I think the rate of increase should be part. Like this is more of like a math thing, but like how fast is the rate growing from where it was to where it is now, right? So even though we're not technically in the buyer's market for the numbers as of right now, it's trending very quickly in
Very
that way.
quickly, yeah. And I would say that we are right there on the cusp anyways. So I would say that we are in a buyer's market. I mean, in some situations, we're talking about, overall on the real estate board, so let's do this, 6,244 sales, but we're looking at, in terms of inventory, we are looking at 30,000. So that's close to a 1 in 5, right? So 4 out of 5 homes are not selling.
And another thing you look at too is the new listings as well. New listings is 21,000. So you had 6,000 sales and you had, what was that, 6, 12, 18, 3.5 times as much new listings come on the market
Just
at the same
pouring
time.
on all the time for every one sold.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really is pretty remarkable. And then when you do what I just did, I grabbed the April data and I threw on top of it the May data. And you should kind of see how these numbers are moving. As Anthony said, the rate of which it's moving, being a math guy, he really recognizes these things naturally. For us, it takes a little bit more time. We have to write it down. We have to see it with our own eyes. But we're feeling it on the ground anyways. But even the average days on market from last month to this month is 6 days longer. And just understand, for those stats to move that fast in a month, wow, it's kind of crazy. So that's sort of like one thing. And we're seeing sales to new listing ratio go down almost 2% or 1 point change percent in the period of 1 month. So that's the market sort of sliding down. Sales are sliding below new listings, and with sales being up over last month is actually pretty miraculous, but being up over inventory being also up, and that's really what's kind of making the market lethargic, right? Because the sales, while we do have 6,000 sales, which is not that great for this time of year,
Well, sorry, just put into context, there's approximately 600 more sales this month, but there's also an additional 30, almost 4,000 extra listings. So
Yeah. So, to remove that from math geek language to us language, the market, while the sales are doing good, the inventory is just becoming more and more. So buyers are having a lot more choice of what they can buy. So what we're finding out there with offers and things like that with Jackie is that the buyers have a low tolerance for strong negotiation with sellers.
on to the next one.
And yeah, they'll just say, well, screw that, I'll get the next one. And
Unless you got an agent that really wants to, which we finally got it done after 2 days.
Yeah, so, but realistically, it's the buyers it doesn't even matter what the agent says. The buyers are ready to move on. They
Yes.
want a deal. And so, for example, this buyer, and we won't speak in specifics, but this buyer, the agent did make a mistake and they sent us a copy of the offer of a previous property that they put an offer on, and it was a bigger home, and they offered less money. And the home was actually on sale for less money. So here we go. You know, the buyer sort of stopped the progress of a deal going through. And this isn't abnormal. This is the third offer on this house. Buyers have stopped short. They've just said,
Yeah.
no, sorry, we'll only go to this amount. We don't care what you think the home is worth. This is what we think the home is worth, or we are looking for a good deal. And if you don't buy from us now, next month prices are going to be lower anyways. Something of that nature is kind of what we're feeling on the ground. And so, yeah, that's how she's going. What do you got
Yeah,
to say, Jack?
but we have
You
it-
busy working on offers? Like,
Yeah.
how about talking
Somebody
to
has
your
to bloody
audience?
make money.
How about talking to your audience? You're pretty funny there, pretty lippy for a woman with a migraine. I don't know. What do you guys think? If your wife has a migraine, at least she's pretending like she has a migraine, but look at her nails.
You had a headache. Yeah, look at her nails.
Yeah.
One missing. Haven't had time to
That's
go.
because you always chew that nail off.
And you have a
You don't
slight
even know.
You have a slight little headache and you're crying like a baby. So you wouldn't even know what it feels like to have a migraine.
First of all, how do you know?
And while I have a
the-
migraine, you're still like, where's my coffee? What's for breakfast?
First
oh,
of
I
all,
didn't eat today.
I don't even understand.
So
How
where's
would
the
you
respect? Where's the
possibly know
appreciation?
the strength of my headache. How would you know?
Because I know.
How?
Because you give me a headache just like yours.
You don't know what my headache is. I might give you a worse or a better headache.
No, definitely not.
And I don't think it's me because you get them when you wake up. So I haven't bothered you at all at that point.
Not yet.
But yet
Oh,
you have.
yes, he has. Oh, yes, he has. I don't
So-
know where he's going with that, but
I really do not understand
That's a
why
lie.
she's all over me like this. And second of all, I don't cry. That's the other thing.
you whine like a baby.
Whine. So first of all, babies don't whine. Wives whine. Okay, let's get this straight. What do you got to say now? That's
I'm
what I
trying
thought.
to get this done.
That's
so
what I
that,
thought. That's what I thought.
So that I can beat you up.
Life, you know what? You guys can see just how patient I am. Right? You're seeing it for yourselves here.
You're
Yeah.
not even funny,
It's
Randy
a
Rodney.
good day. It's a good day. Do we got some emails?
Yeah, let me see.
We got a few.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of
Oh,
all,
yeah.
all on the same topic. We'll start with Brett. Brett says, Randy, you are so hilarious. Intimacy. And Jackie's a fox. Love the show.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, she is a fox. You know what?
Hiding in her foxhole.
I was trying to marry a lioness, but I ended up with a fox. So it
The
is
hell
what
does
it
that
is.
mean?
From Ken Moore laughing, Randy so funny and so horny.
Oh, jeez.
Now we are listening to the show. Hated Anthony, long time. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I know. He looked so different. I didn't even recognize him when he came in.
I try. From Tom, had to write in again. Randy loved the subtle hints to Jackie. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck. That's
Remember,
right.
she is a woman. Don't touch me. I am so busy.
I'm tired. I have a headache. Oh, I got to do the dishes.
That's
Actually, last night, that's when you're like, oh, let's go upstairs and watch TV in bed and cuddle. I'm like, have a look in the kitchen. We just finished eating. We did barbecue. And we're like, look around. Somebody's got to clean it up. But he got up with his computer and went upstairs to bed.
Could clean the next day.
So he didn't want nothing very bad. Otherwise, he would have helped me do the dishes.
I was tired. I wanted something before I went to bed. You know, I will tell you this. When you go up to bed and your wife starts cleaning, it's not
over.
because she wants to clean. It's because she's afraid to go to bed. That's what it is.
That's not true.
All right, from
It is true. What are you talking about? How come you constantly do that? Like,
Because I constantly have to clean because I work and take care of the
so
house.
why didn't you clean
You
before?
work and do nothing at home.
Why didn't you clean before?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of this one.
Yeah, I can stay out of this one too.
Yeah, you should actually.
I have sometimes things I could say, but I know better.
Yeah, because look, I got two. I'll just go like this. But
From Andrew, an actual, I think, real estate question here.
actual email, yay!
In the news today, the CMHC announced today that Canada needs 3.5 million new homes here by 2030. 5 years. Never going to happen with all the liberal laws that affect the housing market and the building trade. Probably not. I think also the problem is the houses they're building, people don't really want, because it's. I think a lot of those houses are like condos and stuff like that, and I don't think the average person wants a condo, even though the average person might have to take a condo now because of pricing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know about the whole laws and stuff about them being built, but right now the problem's not them being built. The problem is that people aren't buying them.
Yeah, so yeah, it's an impossibility for 3.5 million new homes to be built. There's just too many issues, you know. One is legislation. You know,
Red tape.
it is difficult and expensive for builders to build homes, so that's one problem. The other problem is we don't have enough workers to do that. So, you know, so that's a problem. The other problem is the cost to build the homes. It's just really not worth it for the new home builders to build them.
Yeah.
So they're not going to really participate without initiatives, incentives. And another problem is the levels of government. So CMHC being probably more entrenched in our federal government or our federal government system, whereas the permits for building the homes is entrenched in our municipal government. So there are and there's no real I've not heard of any real plans. I've heard of talk that of government coming up with a plan to really build any homes that make sense. There's no real plan that would make any sense. So there's no chance that it'll be done. So you can, while prices are kind of declining, and a lot of it's affordability. I believe that the buyers are there. I believe right now, people listening to us, there's a number of them that would like to buy a home. They just can't. The affordability.
But then, are they really buyers then? 'Cause
Well,
Yeah, they're really buying.
I
So
think
a
that-
buyer is someone who wants to buy, but
I want a yacht. Doesn't make me a buyer.
You want a what?
I want a yacht, but that doesn't
Do
make
you
me.
really want a yacht? Let's
do you
get real.
really? Come on.
I think there's a
Green
difference.
doesn't want a yacht, I'll guarantee you.
Yeah, actually, I think you're too conservative for something like that. That would be
But
something
anyways,
I dream of, and I
I
don't dream
think,
of it.
A yacht?
and what, oh, something you dream of, really?
I don't dream of a yacht.
Yes, you do. When you go to Barbados, you do. You're always dreaming about buying a boat.
Oh, you mean seeing them? I see them, and wow, that's beautiful.
Anyways.
I wish I was on it with that woman. Just kidding. I thought it was funny, so. What's
You're
that?
sleeping outside on the couch tonight in the
You
back.
know, I'm thank heavens it's
And maybe
summer.
if you open the back gate, someone will come in and touch you. I
That's not
think,
funny. That's offensive.
whatever. I think that a lot of people can afford a payment. They can afford they got good credit, so they can get the mortgage, but it's the down payment. I mean, think about it. You got to have 250,000 in some cases down on a home. How are you saving that when you got kids, you got inflation, you got rent? How are you doing that? Unless you're living at home with your parents longer than normal and saving every penny.
I don't think they can. I don't think their income can support it.
I was about to say
That's
that, 'cause,
one
like,
difference that I have
Yeah,
from
because
what
like,
you said.
especially
Yeah.
today with like, there's a lot of like, there's not as many like a lot of people are kind of.
Dual incomes.
Yeah, there's not as many dual incomes because people aren't even really settling down as much anymore, right?
Yeah, I wish I was not a dual income.
I know people personally who would love to have a home, but by themselves they can't really do it. Like
Yeah.
they can maybe it could be super tight with as to carry themselves, but it's just kind of this. It's impossible almost.
And in some cases, it's more expensive for the wife to go to work. If you got
Oh,
2,
if
3
you have
kids.
kids, yeah.
Daycare,
Yeah.
everything.
Well, daycare's been better now with some of the things they have, I think.
Yeah, they've come down.
Yeah. I don't
well,
know, our
They
kids
have
are
they have the whole $10 a day or 100. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, but you gotta qualify for that.
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty
I
sure.
heard about
Like,
that.
who
I
else-
don't know anybody
Who
has
else
it.
got the letter from the government? I got it yesterday. So did my kids, and they're like, anybody under 90,000, making under 90,000, you can get dental. I'm like, okay,
Family
thanks.
income under 90,000.
Yeah,
Oh, family income?
Family income.
under 90.
Who the hell, like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So who are they giving
That's what
it
I'm
to?
saying. It's
Who
tough.
are they giving the free
I
dental
think it's
to?
great that people under the 90 can get it, but it's.
but if you're under 90, there's no way you have a house.
It'd be
no-
very difficult.
Unless you bought the house 60 years ago.
Yes,
right?
yeah, exactly. Or the parents, equity'd out.
It's, okay,
and
but
they
all I'm trying to
give you
say is it's
$500,000.
smoke and mirrors. The same thing with trying to make homes affordable. Like you said, there's all these red tapes, all these fees for the builders, all the materials gone up, but the government,
And
they're
taxes
trying.
gone up,
But they're trying to
fees-
help, just like they're like, oh, let's help Canadians with dental. Like, come on. Then maybe you should have said, people under whatever. I don't know. I
Yeah,
really don't know.
I actually believe you because you said it 4 times. And so I'll leave it there. Thank you, Andrew.
All right, a few more. No, it's not really real estate related, but we'll read them anyways. From Don, the excuses. Jackie, just do it. Give your man some nookie. Randy is right.
Listen, okay,
Thank
give
you,
me
Dawn.
some papers. I'm so hot here right now. I have to fan myself, honestly. It's really hot in this room. First of all, Randy is not suffering. He will make you think he's suffering, but he is not.
According to Jackie.
Okay?
According to Jackie, I get lots.
What did you say to me the other day? I'm quite satisfied. Now you're not? What the heck
Right
is that?
after. I'm still breathing heavy, and she asked me the question. Like, what do you want from me?
We don't have any alone time. We have grown kids, but they're at home waltzing in our room all the time. What do you want?
All right, from
Take me away for the weekend.
Well, I'm sure Tina's enjoying this because
If I can afford it.
Tina says, F the real estate news. Let's talk about Jackie and Randy's love life. Good show. Hello
I
to
guess the
Anthony.
non-existent love life, Tina, from what I'm hearing. But you
No,
know what I
that's a good-
say?
that's a good
Do you
one.
really want me to show you what non-existent is? Huh? You know how men will say to you, well, if you keep telling me I'm lying, I'm this, I might as well lie. Well, if you keep saying you're getting none, you might as well get none.
That would be dangerous to
No,
our
no, no, then you
relationship.
need to stop.
I'm just saying, that would be very dangerous to our relationship.
well.
Because
Do I look
Uh,
scared?
I don't know, any
Do I look
guys out
anything?
there-
No, I
look
don't look scared.
I'm just saying, because I have an incredible amount of basically I can hold off, not a problem, because I love what I have. But if I don't have anything, there's nothing there to love really, except for, we get to eat together, we get to, I don't know, whatever together, which
Yeah,
is nothing.
heaven forbid we watch a show or talk.
I don't mind. I watch a show. I'll watch a show.
No,
with
you don't.
Yes, I do. But
No,
just
you
I'll just
don't.
either sleep through it or something because they're mostly
You don't watch
boring.
nothing. You're
No.
boring. You're just work, work, work.
No, those shows. I sit down to watch a show. Within 5 minutes, I know what's going to happen to the show, and I tell her this is what's going to happen. It's so dumb.
I mostly watch
They-
HGTV.
They make it so obvious. It's insane. So then, how could you possibly
I watch all the
stay
rich
awake
people
for
buying
the rest
houses.
of the show?
I watch all the rich people buying houses.
And then for her, she tends to like to watch these 30 series shows, and I'm going,
No,
this is
I
a
like
total waste
crime.
of life.
I like crime. I like action. He doesn't. He likes
The mi-
comedy.
The minute you watch, comedy,
If
at least
nobody's
you get a
getting
laugh.
killed in the movie, I don't want to see it.
No, but you can laugh through it. It's just, the thing is that these other shows, especially like the 30 episode show, you know that 30 hours and 30 days of your life are going to be wasted. Just wasted, sitting in front of a
I
TV,
remember.
doing nothing.
I remember.
Absolutely learning nothing.
Three times, at least three times, where my buddy here got addicted to My Sims many years ago.
Yes.
The game?
Yeah.
You're
Actually,
going like 25
I was on that
years.
for a little bit too, so.
Oh, 25
friend-
years. I finished the game.
My
I went
friend
to-
here.
You can't finish Sims.
Oh, no, I finished
Oh,
it.
he did. Oh, he
I
did.
can't finish
And then,
Sims.
and
My
then our
Sims.
son,
My Sims. Yes.
erased everything.
He erased my whole. I'm
Oh,
It's never ending. It's
That's
just-
crap
no,
hit the
My
fan.
Sims does. You build the village. You satisfy everybody's needs.
No, he did. He finished
and,
it.
And you
Maybe
think
it's
we're thinking-
different
yeah, it's
now.
different,
So
This
you
was
can,
when it
you
first
can,
came out.
You can go back and you can still play it, but you've accomplished everything. You've built all the. You built
Stayed up night
everybody's-
after night.
Built everybody's houses. You've built everybody's furniture and all that stuff. My house had all the best stuff because I would build someone something, a pizza guy, a pizza oven for his store, and I would go back and build one for me. And I did that for everybody.
And then my friend was also addicted to Risk online for a while,
Yeah, Riz.
where he played for hours and hours and
That's true,
hours.
that's true.
He was also addicted to winning chess matches with everybody, so he stayed up all night long playing with
That's
the
true.
computer.
Until I became a grandmaster.
And what else? I'm sure there's more
But-
things that you wasted time on.
I wouldn't call it chess a waste of time. That's like strategy.
But you learn, Jack. You're watching stuff, you learn nothing.
I'm learning how to
You're
kill
learning
you and make and
nothing.
get away with it, like Criminal Minds and all that. Man, I'm learning. Oh, he just doesn't know, guys.
No,
And I'm
no.
filling in my pool. Oh, it's not fully filled in yet. Watch your back.
All right. What's next?
You might get a little foot
Tina.
in there.
Thank you, Tina.
All right. Well, Karen, I think she kind of misheard what we said. Karen said get what under $90,000. We're talking about not a house. You're not going to find a house.
Dental.
Basically, if your family income is under 90 grand, you can qualify for
Dental from the government.
Yeah.
I was just bad mouthing the government. That's all that was.
No, she said home under 90,000.
No, but she said get what under 90,000. So she thought we were saying get a
Yeah.
house for 90 grand. But we can't.
Oh,
Well-
no, that was the income.
Yeah.
But that's me, Karen. I randomly bring up stuff and nobody knows where I'm going with it.
Yeah, that's true. Neither do you, actually.
From a different, or just from Karen. Karen says, dreaming. Hey,
A
y'all.
new Karen? Another Karen?
No, there wasn't. I think
Yeah,
there wasn't a Karen before. It was somebody else.
Home under 90,000.
That was
or
Karen too?
property under 90,000.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, this is another Karen. Yeah. Hey, y'all. Interesting show tonight. Randy doesn't dream of a yacht. He dreams of getting Jackie. And finally, from Monica, loving it. This is so good. What a show. Relationships. How women hate sex. Good topic.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what else? Sometimes he's
She
scary.
doesn't hate it.
Because sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I turn over and he's staring at me.
Just trying to figure out what would be the best move without getting in trouble.
Oh gosh, to have a man madly in love with you. You're supposed to say yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think every husband's madly in love with their wives, and unless you get a divorce, it's just how it is. They're your best friend until they're your worst enemy.
Well, I'm that all in one right now while we're still
You,
married.
you've got a little
I got
bit
the
of both.
whole package,
you got the
man.
whole package for sure. I'm not going to doubt that.
Oh, my
you can be
goodness.
quite ferocious at times. Yeah.
Oh, I can be a little mighty mouse.
Yeah. So.
Anyways, what's going on out there now? 1 in 5
got some
houses are
buzz?
selling.
Yeah. We just talked about that. Were you there during that part of the show?
Well, I got a little thing, basically talking about how it's kind of crazy. Well, I think we've been talking about this for since before I had my little hiatus. This basically living in Toronto, it ain't cheap. I think according to the Global Housing Index, to live in Toronto is like one of the most expensive places to live in the world. According to the 2025 Oxford Economics, residents spend more of their income on housing than nearly those in any other city. Right? Some of the things they blame are, as we kind of talked about before, policy failure, restrictive zoning, high development fees, slow permitting, other things like that, as well as the mass immigration we've had for a while now, which is, again, more supply and demand, right? The more people we have looking for something, the higher it pushes prices, and then everyone kind of suffers, other than people who are selling at that particular time.
Yep.
So one of the, I guess, supply is a limiting factor, government's an issue, and it's just hard, right? Especially when your income is pretty level and your housing prices going up, and housing being one of the biggest cost that you have, right? So it's,
Now, for sure.
yeah.
You know, I used to know people who had cars that had like $1,000
bigger
a month for their car or truck, and I was like, are you insane? Because, you know, our mortgage was that. But today, that's very different. Now, to have a $4,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 mortgage is just kind of normal. As a matter of fact, everybody who's renting is unfortunately is at $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 a month. So
Yeah, I remember a
just
few
strange.
years ago when we were trying to help our friends refinance their house and all that. And dude goes out and buy a brand new truck, remember? I'm like, what do you do? Why don't you just,
before you closed?
no,
In the
just.
middle of it.
In the middle of it, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
before the-
but not because he did it in the middle of it, but like, why?
It is because you
Go
did it
buy
in
a
the middle.
used truck. Why do you need to buy something 70 grand?
Or
Like,
just wait.
I don't understand though. But maybe that's because my husband buys everything used, except for me. I wasn't used when he got me. Okay.
I wouldn't buy
That
a new
is
car
funny,
anymore.
Well, I have a new car, but that's because my daughter bought it for me and put it in the driveway with a bow on it. So
Yeah,
that's pretty
otherwise-
cool. Otherwise, I don't believe in it.
Not buy anything new.
The
Only his clothes.
Yeah, it's like, and even then, I go straight to the clearance rack. You know, people wonder, how do you, like, dude, you spend so much on clothes. You got your shoes match your shorts and the shirt and everything matches. Just go, yeah, because I have 100 pairs of shoes. And that's because when I go in the store, I pay $20, $30, maybe $40 for a pair. Because if, you know, they're the ones that, they're not selling
Yeah,
really
my husband's
anymore.
cheap.
It's the Air Jordans that are out of style now,
Yes.
and I don't even know what out of style means. All I know is those shoes
I
look
know what it
good,
means.
and they're gonna match my blue outfit, and so I'm gonna buy those.
Every time
and
you go to
they're
buy
$30.
something, he's like, well, is that practical? Is that, what can you wear that with? Do you really need that?
So, you know what? That was early in our relationship, and I thought it was a turning point. I thought you understood.
Nope.
She goes out. She wants to buy all this stuff now because she's going to go to the gym. We know that that's
When
not
was
going to be
this? When
long
was this?
lasted. You'll remember.
Must have been 10 years ago because
Yeah, I'm talking a
I
while
don't
ago.
recall ever wanting to go to the
Exactly.
gym.
And I'm like, and yeah, you did. And then I'm like, if you buy off of the clearance rack, the top is $10, the bottom is $10, the shoes are $30. So you can have 5 outfits, all matching, different colors. If you go to the full pack, you get 1 shoes, you got 1 outfit, and you're wearing the same one every time. She goes, oh yeah. At that moment, she understood. But now she's back to her regular
No,
self.
I'm not. I don't buy nothing. I'm poor as whatever. I'm a broke realtor. But I do recall
Yeah, what happened to your nail, by the way?
it broke.
You didn't shoot off? Did it broke in you?
It actually, I went to poke you, and your bloody head was so hard, it went snap. No. Anyways, I do recall quite a few years ago when my husband used to go to the C&E every year, him and the guys.
Oh, yeah.
And he brought me back the workout clothes, and he brought me back about 5 sets, and it was the identical sets in different colors. I'm like, what the hell?
Did you wear them?
So,
Did you wear them?
I don't know. I have to honestly say I'm not sure. And they were this big. I'm like, how the hell am I fitting in this
She outgrew them
big?
fast. Because at that time, she was at home eating lots of bonbons.
That is not true, but anyways. When I go to Barbados, I gain weight.
Bam.
Because I do nothing, only lie on the beach.
No, we're always going to the lawyer's office sitting there.
That's true too.
Yeah. So what's your buzz, Jack? You said you had some buzz. Did you lie?
Sorry, I just got a call.
So you have no buzz? You got something to say to the audience? Like they care about you. She ain't saying anything.
Sorry.
Okay, well I have another one, but it's
Sorry.
kind of the same thing we were talking about before with how we started the show with the numbers, how basically it's turning into a buyer's market right now. So basically the article says that market turmoil, well, I can't talk, has been reached, it seems like. Toronto housing market just hit a brutal milestone, signaling deeper instability and cooling after years of overheated growth. Sales are slowing as inventory grows. Sorry, sales are slowing and inventory is growing. The condo sector is really soft, especially pre-construction. And I think they're also kind of, they can't really even build as much because they can't get rid of the property, right? So they have to slow down their building as well. So, and again, so we need houses. They're not willing to build them, but people don't want to buy those properties as well. So it's one of those weird things where like you were saying earlier, like we do have buyers, people who want to get in, but for one, it's hard to get into a house, and even with condos, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Although at sometimes you might not even have a choice because that might be the only thing you can get. But then the other problem is you buy the condo, and the condo used to be the stepping stone before to get into a house, but now if you get into the condo, you might have to get out of the condo, right? So that's kind of another issue we might be having in the next little bit.
Oh, God.
We're still live, people.
I'm sorry. I'm working. I'm so sorry, people.
Yeah, why don't you stop it? Why don't you join the show?
I think I have been joining the show. I've
No,
had
I
lots
don't
of
think
lit
so.
going
You've
on
had
here.
nothing really much to input other than insulting me. You just ask these people. I'm reading what they're
Okay,
saying,
have
and
I
they're
been
saying, why is
insulting
Jackie
Randy?
ignoring us?
What?
So, this is what I'm seeing
You
here.
realize that you don't even know how to check the email, and I have it on my phone.
No, but I wrote it down.
No. Do you know how to check the email for the show?
I don't do that.
Do you know how to use Realm?
I do, a little bit. But that's not my thing. Right? We all have jobs.
Yeah. Hello?
Well, not us all. Some of us just go around looking pretty. Some.
Yeah, okay.
So, so Jack, do you have any buzz?
Okay, I'll be honest. I had buzz, and I thought I could read it, and I got here early, and then I had to do this offer, and it turned out to be a video.
You sound like one of those kids who's just trying to explain away. You're just digging yourself deeper and deeper.
You know what? This show just was a surprise. Like you just didn't know we were having it on Tuesday at 7:30. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it is a surprise. I get it. So, okay.
I'm sorry.
Let's move on.
The people that are listening are important, but when I got like stuff going on like this, I honestly have to deal with it. When I make promises to somebody, I have to stick to them.
So, do you make promises to the audience to give them some information?
I think they're very entertained tonight, to be honest with you. Who's not entertained out there tonight? Come on.
Well, they would like some content. They're looking for content.
I don't know. According to Frank says, "Welcome back to Anthony, the only person on the show who discusses real estate." A nice change, Anthony, but we like Randy's content better. So.
See? They don't want to know about real estate, so I'm good right now. No, I got to be honest with you. It is tough out there. I have been showing properties, and man, like some of these properties are, to me, they're worth their listing price all day long, and the clients are still like, well, can we try for this, which is like $100,000 under?
But is
can
it-
we try for? It's like,
Is it worth it though, really? Because
yes.
No, why I'm saying that is because without that 2020 spike, would the prices be where they are right now? Like so, yes, you can say it's worth it because someone paid that 2 years ago or a year ago, but
No, I'm not talking about that. No, I'm talking about based on what has sold there size-wise and everything.
yeah, but what is
It's a
sold?
good deal.
Yeah, but what is sold there? All I'm saying is that 2020, that the prices jacked up. Would that, if we never had the whole COVID and shutdown, all that crap, would the prices be that high, or would they not be like maybe 10% lower?
So,
Well,
you know,
that's
that's
possible,
interesting.
but,
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'd be on the beach too if COVID didn't happen right now, but I'm not.
Yeah, so Anthony, you know, the answer to your question is if we didn't have, I don't think COVID itself was the problem. I think our government
Well, that's not-
policies
yeah.
and regulations
That's what I meant
were
to
the
say.
problem.
Yeah, but he means
and-
overall, in general.
And yes, and the truth of the matter is that, and one of the reasons why our show doesn't grow is because of the things that we've said about the government, the central bank, and things of that nature on previous episodes. It's just so obvious that they've done something to our show so that it just
What?
doesn't. It just doesn't grow because we've been at 396
You're talking about
subs for a
YouTube.
year. That's what I'm talking about, YouTube.
YouTube.
So, and that's impossible. And but anyways, that's a whole different thing. The fact that our government went to bed at the time with our Bank
wrong
of Canada.
people.
Bank of Canada, so our monetary policies and our fiscal policies were in bed together. And what happened is our monetary policies, which is the Bank of Canada, was feeding our government money so that our government could spend money endlessly. Then our government, which was Justin Trudeau at the time, was empowered to spend silly money. And that's why we heard some really ridiculous things during COVID, which is the essence of this rant. During COVID, I don't know if you guys remember this, but he gave the baggers who were bagging at the grocery stores a $5 an hour raise. So they were earning like 15, and he gave them a 33% raise because he called them frontline soldiers. And so he was just spending the money like crazy and doing really stupid things. And it's my belief that during COVID, that when you shut down the businesses, a couple of things happened. People weren't allowed to go to work, so now everybody is now working from home. Husbands working from home, wives working from home. You shut down the schools, school kids are working from home. Now you start to realize just how small your home is. Interest rates, they dropped to next to nothing. It was a quarter of a point from the Bank of Canada overnight rate, which was the lowest we had ever seen. And so you drop it so low that the banks can offer you rates at 1.75, 1.9% interest. It was actually cheaper to sell your home and buy a bigger home at the new interest rate. And it would be cheaper. And you would be able to now have a setup that would allow your kids to be home and your wife to be home and you to be home and you to be able to work and the kids to be able to have space to do their schooling, and you could live more harmoniously. And therefore transactions just started going through the roof. People were like, holy smokes, it just doesn't make sense for me to keep my smaller home and try to navigate this new world where wife and myself and the kids are all home all the time. Like, that can be quite a bit, especially if you're trying to work. And the interest rates therefore fueled the real estate industry, and those lower rates made it more affordable. And as you make it more affordable with more transactions, you're pushing prices up. And that's really what I believe pushed the marketplace to where it went. And now, while prices are coming down because inventory is going crazy, and next year will be the pinnacle of the prices. They were at their highest 5 years ago next year, and interest rates were at their lowest 5 years ago next year. So all of these people who are coming through the marketplace, which I believe is 118,000 of them? No, 125,000 people. 125,849 people coming through the system whose mortgages are up and they've got now these high interest rates, or what they would consider high interest rates compared to what they had. So therefore, they have high mortgages, and even if they wanted to sell their home to downgrade, their home doesn't value what they purchased it for. Life is very uncomfortable. Life is incredibly uncomfortable. And so what we're going to see the market continue to go down. I don't believe that it was just because of the 2021 price increases. I think a lot of things happened. You broke the supply chain. When they broke the supply chain, how did they break the supply chain? They shut down a whole bunch of stores and only said, okay, only these stores can be open. So now you got manufacturing, a whole bunch of stuff shutting down. They're shutting down. Their workers can't go to work. You got all these weird restrictions for how people have to work because of this COVID thing. And now, when you allow people to now go back to work, some people are saying, you know what? I was working like a dog. I don't want to go back to work. And now manufacturers are having problems with having enough manpower. Stores are having problems with having enough manpower. What they're finding is that they can't just start back up and start off where they left off. They can't. So the prices of their goods went up. The people not wanting to go back, they have to hire people and pay them more money to attract them to come back to the stores. So the cost of everything went through the roof through inflation. Do you know that they've got inflation under control at 2%? But that doesn't mean that we're going back and reducing the prices of the 8% inflations that we had at certain times, which 8% inflation to our government, that's what their numbers showed. But to us, it felt more like 30% price increases. Matter of fact, we just had a client, they're saying they want to sell their home. We're explaining to them the marketplace. They just came back from a 6-month vacation, because every 6 months they sort of go away, Caribbean, come back. They said their pricing of their goods, they believe, have gone up another 30% in just this 6 months. When they go to the store and they buy stuff, like they knew what it was like 6 months ago. And even though the prices went up, they said the prices have gone up again for them. So the cost of living is so high. So now, can you afford a high mortgage? Can you afford these things? That's kind of what we're faced with now. However, the pricing of housing is so high, and the cost to keep it is so high that they can't do that and weather the inflation game. So the problem is, if it was just one of them and not both of them, they may be able to do it, handle it a lot better. But they're getting bombarded from both ends. They're getting bombarded for the cost of food, cost of gas, cost of living, and bombarded for the price of homes. So what's happening to the price of homes? The reason why I told that story is because now the price of homes should be tanking, as Anthony is saying. There is nothing holding our prices up right now. There is, because affordability for houses is at an all-time low. So house pricing and transactions are at a 20-year plus low. There is nothing holding our prices up except one thing. And that is the cost to build that home. And so because the cost to replace that home is so high, that house, it's holding up the price of the home. I was absolutely in love with this motorcycle. It's called the Honda Rune. Look it up. You guys are on your computer, because this is a real estate, internet real estate show. So you're by your computer, look it up, the Honda Rune. It's an absolute, R-U-N-E, absolutely amazing motorcycle. It was only built 1 year in the 2024-2025 era. So it was only built that 1 year. Why? Because it costs Honda $100,000 per motorcycle to put it out, and they put it out at a $40,000 price point, so they couldn't afford to maintain it. Well, if I would have bought one of those motorcycles before COVID, I could have got them around 10,000. Now,
Used.
used. You can't buy them new. They only built them that 1 year.
Oh,
Every one of
sorry,
them are
yeah,
used.
sorry, yeah.
So, but now if you want to buy one, try to find one under 20 grand. So even the used Rune has doubled in price.
Dude,
Kinda ain't
some of the
crazy.
used vehicles have went up. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, that's another thing. During COVID, it was really interesting. You had a used vehicle, you could sell it for more than the new vehicle. You could sell the used vehicle and get a new vehicle for cheaper. So COVID really messed things up. We're gonna see where life goes, but pricing, housing pricing is declining
I
and
don't know
will,
if life will ever be the
decline
same.
again next year. But what's holding, what's stabilizing the market is replacement costs. I believe that with my whole heart, and we'll see.
Any emails, Anthony?
I don't know, I was just doing some calculations.
Oh.
I think if it continues, the sales, we're gonna be like a crazy low. I think we're gonna end up with like just over 50,000, or maybe a bit more than 50.
Oh, you mean in sales?
Sales?
Yeah.
Number of sales?
For the year, yeah.
Well,
Damn, you just got really loud in my ear.
yeah, it's because my chin hit the mic there, so we had a,
Put it down here.
we had a
Yeah,
spike.
you're trying to hurt me.
All email we have is from John. Randy, shut up. Talk about trying to catch Jackie. I guess nobody wants to talk about the real estate, but I guess just a little bit more real estate. So pretty much, I think the last few months, we've been our month over month in sales has been kind of down 20%, right? So if you take 70,000 sales last year and multiply that by 0.8, which is like it's not fully accurate, but just doing that, you get like I can do it right now quickly. You get a number which is scary if you're a realtor because
Ow.
the less sales that are there for everybody means less sales there are per realtor, which means you're not eating.
It also means the really crappy ones got to get out of the
Yeah,
business.
yeah. So at an 80% clip, which right now we're trending below that. If we go off of last year, we should end the year at around 56,000 sales. And if you look at over the last between now and 2012, the lowest we've had is 2023, which was 69,000. Right. So we're trending at 13,000 below that. So we'll see what the rest of the year holds, but
From
there's
last year?
no, I'm just saying.
Last year was 70,000.
Last year,
Yeah.
2023 was 69,000. So the lowest between now and 2012 was 2023, which was just under 70,000, and we're trending toward around 57,000 right now if the numbers stay how they are.
Yeah.
Right. So
People just can't afford it, man. I got to get a part-time job.
Yeah, I would love to see you work. So,
I'd love to see you do something.
I'm gonna do something. These boots are made for walking. That's just what I'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Come on, Gary, get in there. You're the singer.
That would be Mr. Sinatra's daughter, Nancy.
Oh,
good.
Really?
Yes, she's the one who sang that and recorded it.
Are you serious?
I am very serious.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Holy cow.
you
That's,
thought it was me?
I definitely didn't think it was you. I just didn't know that Frank Sinatra even had a child that was singing there.
Yeah, it's because you don't keep up like us. We keep up.
You knew that?
No,
Exactly. I was just going to say liar,
but we
liar.
keep up
What do you keep up on?
on everything. On real estate, at least we have buzz for our clients,
But they don't want it.
for our consumers.
But they don't want it. So now what?
No,
Now who's on the game?
who was that? John doesn't want it, but
A
everyone
few
else.
people didn't want it.
The ones who wanted us, they're listening tend to be quiet.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
my thoughts are when you're talking about numbers, 2022 was 78,000, 2023 was 69,000, 2024 is 70,200. So my thing is they're relatively the same. 2022 after 2022's drop, because 2021 was 125,000, then it dropped to 78, and then it dropped to basically 70 for the next 2 years. So we'll see how we hold up. We are definitely trending lower than
was going off
those
that.
years.
I was just going off the averages.
No, I agree with you. Like when we look at January, February, March, and April.
I'll tell you what's interesting. There's some realtors
I
under
won't
client.
finish. You go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just teasing.
I know.
Go ahead.
Some realtors under clients are marking their listings at a price that they don't even want. They'll market it at like $9.99, and you call them and say, hey, my client's interested, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, well, we're not looking for that. We're looking for like $1,035,000. I'm like,
I don't think that works today. That might have worked.
but I'm saying though,
No,
it's so many of
some
them out there,
agents are
especially in
doing that.
Keswick.
Well, you can do that, but that's not. I don't think it's gonna get you anywhere right
No,
now.
no,
Yeah.
but I just mean like, what kind of like strategy is that? Like,
Stupid?
you call, yeah, because not only that, then you take your client out to see that house. It's a waste of their time. I don't care about my time because that's what I do. I'm a realtor. I drive around and show houses, but it's like you feel like a fool because you're like, oh, well, I'm sorry, it's $1,035,000, and it's like it's so dumb.
You're dumb. Yep. I gotta agree. It's
Pretty, and I've encountered that actually quite a bit, but I also encountered.
because you're dumb.
I showed this house a couple weeks ago, and it was listed for $949, and I believe it was worth $949. But you know, right now no one's buying, so it's like Anthony said, is it really worth $949? But when you look at everything else,
It is, but you want to sell?
you know what I'm saying? So then we went in, we did an offer. They came back at $910. We went back in, and they're like, no, no, she won't go any lower than that. And I said, hey, I get it, I understand, right? So a week later, the realtor's calling me, begging me
Yeah,
to come back with the $865 offer. Which,
We had moved on.
yeah, unfortunately, but it was like, so you think about it, right? And I said and it's not the agent most of the time, I said,
It's the seller.
well, it's a shame, I said, because the market is just going down and down and down. And sure enough, a week later, they come back looking for, the offer that we gave them, and my client's like, nope.
Buyers are tough.
Oh, and then I'm
Buyers are
thinking, but
tough.
wait a minute, you told me you were willing to pay out the $9 for this place, and now we can get it for $865, and you're saying no. So it's a really tough market all the way around. Sellers, buyers,
For
it's
sellers,
tough.
buyers
Especially
are
when
having their way.
Yes, and if they're not having their way, they don't care. They'll just wait.
yeah.
They'll just wait because they know what's happening to the market.
Well, and it's a lot of money to pay per month to live.
And what
So-
can you do? I have to be honest with my clients. Say, well, listen, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. The prices are continuously going down, so I get it.
And they
Let's
will
wait,
for the next year easy.
right? Let's wait. Let's see. We'll find the perfect thing for the right price.
Yeah.
But it is really tough. It's, sellers are trying to hang on to their price. Buyers are beating them down, and then when they get beaten down, they say, nope, don't want it anymore. It's a little crazy out there right now.
Again, talking about beating down. In
You've
the
been beaten
80s
down, right?
In the 80s, it was actually okay to beat your wife down. Oh, you guys don't want to talk about the
Anyways,
truth,
we're out
do
of
ya?
time. Take us out, Anthony.
Today it's not acceptable, and wives are going crazy. Wives are just going crazy, feeling empowered.
But you know what's okay out there, ladies? It's okay to beat your husband because he ain't going to tell anybody.
Yeah, that's right. Can you imagine?
Trust me, I know that.
My wife beat me up. Then they go home.
So
fight.
beat him up all day long, you get away with it.
That's true. Like who are you gonna tell? You can't even call your friend. My wife, she hit me. What do you mean, Randy? What are you talking about? Never mind. I gotta go.
Oh Lord. All right, ladies and
my
gents.
gosh.
Thanks for being with us again.
Yeah, listening to our foolishness.
So as always, it's been your home, your money, and a lot of our lives on realradio101.com. Have a great rest of your week.
Bye for now.
Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony, right here on Reality Radio 101.